Hello everybody, the Destroyer here, and welcome back to another cast of Lord of the Rings Battle for Middle-earth 2, patch 1.08. This is a 1v1 on Forts of Isen II. So today, let's see who we got. We got Mordor, we got Gladiator as Mordor, of course, in the top left, and his opponent is ExECuToR as the Men of the West. I'm also noticing there's birds flying around this map. I haven't actually seen Forts of Isen II on patch 1.08. I've noticed a lot of 1.08 maps have extra stuff to them. It also looks nicer. But that's because of my shaders. I have to turn the shaders down to low on Rise of the Witch King so the fog goes away for some reason. There's also a skeleton right there, like a dragon. Interesting. Anyway, enough rambling about nonsense. Yeah, 1v1 Forts of Isen II. It should be interesting enough, I hope. Gladiator is going for an orc pit here. And also getting its economy rolling, of course. ExECuToR going for 2 farms. Where's... Ah, he's going for barracks over here. I can't actually see that on the mini-map. So, good thing I found it. I mean, you can, just barely. Now I can. Yeah, he's going for a barracks over here. Gonna get some Gondor tower guards. And it looks like he queued up some Gondor soldiers as well. Of course, putting their first farms close to their fortress so they don't get so they can be defended by the fortress. So Elvenwood was used by I see. Tainted Land was used to see what his enemy was, because they don't see revealed random is not a thing in patch 1.08. Of course, you can't see who your opponent is on the loading screen. So if they both went random, they have to do some scouting. So he used Tainted Land to reveal the area for a little bit, and then he used his Elvenwood to override it, so he wouldn't have units standing on top of his base, having a buff there. There are orcs coming into his area here. They are actually only 50 resources and 30 command points, so Orc Warrior is very cheap in this patch. Orc Archers still 360 command points, so they're still fairly pricey. I do love how things look. The game looks so much better when I can turn my detail up. I really wish the fog was not a thing in Rise of the Witch King 2.02, but it is, unfortunately. So in order to get it this clear, I actually have to turn off the shading, or turn the shaders down to low, which makes everything look a little bit worse. I don't know why that's a thing for Rise of the Witch King, but not for Battle for Middle-earth. It's a little weird. These orcs looking to do some damage. The Gondor archers, though, picking them off nicely. ExECuToR. I like that name. ExECuToR. It's a cool name. Gladiator is a cool name, too. I like both of those. But anyway, there is a bunch of spam in ExECuToR's base. He is getting a bunch of Gondor archers to try and deal with these, which is probably the perfect thing to get at the moment. But it is very easy to get a large amount of orcs, as you might imagine, for how cheap they are. Mordor is definitely a spam faction in this patch, as you can definitely tell. He's going for a Haradrim Palace as well. They do not have cavalry, of course. This is not Rise of the Witch King, so that is not a thing. So they're probably going for Corsairs or Easterlings, one of the two. Or maybe even Haradrim Archers, who knows. So those Gondor soldiers do take down a slaughterhouse there. More soldiers crossing the ford. Orcs actually taking out some orcs on the way over. They're definitely not friendly. But a large horde of orcs, a new horde of orcs, making their way into ExECuToR's base here. He's splitting up his men, of course, which is a good idea. So you can get someone there, possibly someone this one. Although those ones might not make it very far. These orcs do drop like flies to the archers, so you do have to be a bit careful with them. Or you can just overwhelm your opponent by sending millions of them. Depends on what you want to do, really. Yeah, they only have Easterlings and Haradrim Archers. There's actually no Corsairs from the Haradrim Palace. They come from the Tavern, of course, which does not exist in Rise of the Witch King. But it does very much so in Battle for Middle-earth 2. So if he wants Corsairs and upgrades, he'll have to get his Tavern, of course. As the upgrades do not come from the Siege Works either. It looks like ExECuToR is managing to defend his farms fairly well enough. They've taken some damage. They are on fire, but they should be fine. Large amounts of archers near his farms is kind of negating anything the orcs can do, really. He does have a Boromir out in the field as well, who has his Horn of Gondor at level 3. Level 5, he has 50% damage leadership. And then he has Captain of Gondor, which gives target units experience, which is always nice, I guess. The orcs managed to take down a farm there. There's more farms being spammed across the west side here. Southwest side of the map. So these orcs will probably be stopping to pillage a few of those. And now, undoubtedly, Gladiator has seen where the barracks is of ExECuToR. Well, he does have one in his base now. He's getting tower guards. God, the game just looks so much nicer, doesn't it? I'm gonna zoom in. Everything just looks real good. Tower guards especially. I do have the HD texture pack, of course. Makes things look a bit nicer, but only for the vanilla Battle for Middle-earth units. I also recommend that. I should really make a video on that, just to show people it exists. It's not a huge change, but it's nice. Anyway, tower guard's looking to defend the farm here. He has built a tower right in front of his farm. That should be pretty useful for defending it. These orcs looking to do some damage to this farm. Probably won't manage to get it. These archers in the fortress as well, taking them out pretty easily. Boromir leading the charge in the south over here. I'm going to head north and start attacking Gladiator's base directly soon enough. He does have a battalion of Gondor soldiers, 3 battalions of archers. He's actually putting a tower up here as well. Towers can be pretty useful. Put them up in key choke points like this. It can be difficult for like something like orc spam to actually deal with. I think Mordor is actually going to need something different if they're going to actually make anything happen. I think they might want to get a Nazgul or something. Something to deal with the archers. A Nazgul wouldn't be a bad call. We'll have to be careful with it, of course. Oh, he does have a Nazgul. There you go. He's done just that. It is level 4 already. But it is wounded, so he has retreated him. He's starting to get Easterlings. Pretty good. Definitely better than orcs, but of course they do fall like the rest. Makes things very difficult. The men of West have a good position here, really. They have a lot of strong troops. Gondor archers in this patch aren't completely useless like 1.06, which is nice. So I like that a lot. Of course, I'd imagine the orcs are pretty weak, so they'd probably be good anyway. It's possible these might even be changed, and it's just the orcs are really weak. It's hard to say. I don't know the changes or the change log of anything of patch 1.08. I just cast it occasionally. I don't actually know anything about it, statistics-wise. Just putting that out there. But still, I find it to be a cool patch. I still think it's one of the better patches for vanilla Battlefield Middle-earth 2. And I do like all the additions, like the cosmetic additions to some of the maps, just make the maps look more alive and cool. There's a dragon skeleton there. Why is there a dragon skeleton there? Because there is, because it looks nice. I do like some of those cosmetic changes myself. Makes things look less boring. There are 2 battalions of Gondor archers here, which is more than enough to hold off these orcs. They're just plowing their way through these guys. These orcs are really not having a good day. I don't think Mordor's tactic is working here. He's kind of getting wrecked. Yeah, he's going to need some catapults, definitely. I'd say a mass amount of catapults would be a very nice idea. There is also the Grand. If you've never seen patch 1.08, there is this thing called the Grand, which is 7,500 resources, which is a lot. That's more than any hero or anything. It is essentially a gigantic wolf-headed battering ram from the movie When They Siege Minas Tirith. And it is awesome. I've only seen it once. And I was screwing around with Skirmish 1.08 once. But it was really cool. Definitely an interesting unit. And the price is just outrageous, of course. Not something you can get early game. 2 Nazguls out here. Just need to be careful, though. The Nazgul are not good against the tower guards. Power guards. Go, Power Ranger guards. Or some shit. We got a catapult. The first catapult of Mordor out. I think Mordor's tactic here is probably not the best. He is feeding power points to the Men of the West, who has 10 power points and 2 powers. We're good at 10 and a 5, and 11 power points remaining, while he only has 9 power points and a 5. So he's definitely not getting anything done, really. Now that he has a catapult, maybe he can take down this this tower, but there is a couple trebuchets from the enemy, which is going to prove a bit hard to deal with. I'd say in this situation, I don't even know what I would do with Mordor. I mean, you can spam catapults. Probably your only chance, really. Spam orcs and catapults is really your only hope there. Nazgul does fall there. A loud screech. It flees off. But of course, the trebuchets do pretty good damage as well. Especially the orcs. He has no armor or anything. The accuracy of the catapult leaves something to be desired as well. The other Mordor catapult. Not the most accurate thing. I did hear the other Nazgul die as well. That's an unfortunate loss for Mordor. Possibly Mordor should go into Trolls? No. Maybe. Hard to say. I don't really know enough about this patch to know what he should do. All I know is things are not looking good. And his fortress is actually taking a beating here. Nevertheless, definitely overpowering Mordor here. Unfortunately, his fortress is taking a lot of damage. He did summon Dunedain Rangers who actually come with long shot still in this patch. And the rest of which do not have long shot when you summon them. So thing. Looks like Mordor's actually fending off the attack though, which is pretty nice. Maybe he'll manage to make a giant counter. That'd be pretty cool. If Mordor wins this game, that would be great. Seeing how the starting of the game has gone so far for him, that would be kind of cool for the underdog to win. The Gladiator pulls it back. He does have a Nazgul back on the field. I'd say ExECuToR is losing a bit of ground here. Once Mordor starts getting more catapults out in the field, things are going to be a bit harder for the Men of the West. If you can get through this little choke point here, I'd say Mordor would be free to actually get all the way over to the lands of Gondor, or the Men of the West rather, and start doing some damage. Now he's got some orc archers of his own, which is a good choice, as he really needed the archers against this swordsman and pikeman spam here. He still has the trebuchets doing some damage. At least he's managed to save his base. His base not even below 50%, so that's good. He's getting mass amounts of orc archers. It's not a bad tactic. But he still has to deal with this little bastion of men here in front of his base. Kind of like a Western Osgiliath in a way. If you look at it this way, now it is Western Osgiliath. They are Eastern Osgiliath. Now they're fighting for dominance over the center. But that's not exactly what's happening. Just my little analogy. God, he's really going ham on these archers. But it is really paying off, I'd say. With a super massive amount of archers and then these catapults to back him up and the Nazgul, he should actually be able to do quite a bit of damage. He just needs the siege to take down these towers and such, and then the archers just pick off everything else, really. They don't do a ton of damage to these Athelians, though, that's for sure. The Athelians of ExECuToR are just eating away at these damn things. Nazgul's being a bit careful. Nazgul's can take care of these Athelians pretty easily. They should use their long shot. There you go, using the horn now. He can use long shot if he wants to. But he doesn't have to. The long shot right here would be pretty effective, though. Just saying. Especially when you can't move. Ooh. The Men of the West archer line taking a huge catapult hit. Somehow managing to get almost every one of them. That's a huge blow to the army of the Men of the West. And of course, Mordor has barrage now. Tower and anything inside. Versus this patch 1.08, the fire is blue in this patch. You do have little graphical changes here and there, which are pretty neat. Fire's only blue in Rise of the Witch King if you get the ring from your barrage. But yeah, Mordor is counterattacking quite nicely. Oh, he needs to be careful. He needs to get his guys out of there. Combo with a Sonic Song will absolutely wreck everyone. Like Nazgul is cut down by the King of Gondor, Mr. Aragorn. It's unfortunate. There's a white here. Looks like someone was turned to a white. But the Nazgul Morgul Blade. But yeah, now's a great time for Mordor to push into the Men of the West base. He has very few troops. He's pretty much spent all his power. He does have this here. And he does have some tower guards in his thing as well, which is a little weird. I don't know if that actually benefits any. It's weird. Trees just grow on maps randomly. I like that feature, but I think it's weird at the same time. I mean, it's definitely a prime devastation target if you're Isengard. There's never a lack of trees to use and power on. But yeah, big counterattack from Mordor here. Unfortunately, he does have upgraded Filian Rangers in the tower. He will have to retreat, otherwise he'll just lose his entire army. Orc archers won't get a whole lot done. I was like, he will get this farm. Now he should probably get out of there. Nazgul running around doing some damage. They're running unopposed, which is nice. He'll be able to actually get all these farms on the outskirts of the base of ExECuToR. They're not the quickest at killing structures, but they're very quick enough. They are weak to fire arrows as well, so he does actually need to get out of there. I think he's going to lose his Nazgul. At least he'll be able to rescue that one. What Mordor really needs is more catapults. More catapults, possibly some trolls, maybe even there's the Blade Master effect for Aragorn there. Actually the same one that I just saw used on Eoner on the Fall of the Iron Crown map I did. But yeah, that's the Blade Master. Instead of glowing red, like they're evil or something, they glow white, which is kind of cool. I like all these little subtle changes. You don't think too much about them, but I do like actually all these little subtle changes. They just make the game more enjoyable to me. But the key word is subtle. Some changes are not for the best. I always use the Ent summon sound from version 4, 2.02 Rise of the Witch King as an example. That was an atrocious sound that was way too loud. Hated the thing. Not a change for the best. But some of them are. Looks like Mordor will lose his catapults here. You don't want to keep your catapults in the front line. Oh! Minimalist, huge earthquake there. And he does have his 25 of course. Both teams have 1,000 command point limit. Men of the West, ExECuToR has 800 used, while Mordor has about 650. So definitely Men of the West having the advantage, I'd say, in troops. And of course his troop strength is just higher. Men of the West have better troops than the orcs. The Mordor. Well, he did get earthquaked. He's not out yet. But I would be surprised if Mordor actually pulled this back. I thought he was going to come back for a second there. And it's possible he might, but the Men of the West army is still pretty powerful. Actually, there's Aragorn and Boromir. Aragorn giving his leadership 25% damage and armor and 50% experience, faster gained. That was a weird way to word it, but hey, I got it out there. A couple Nazgul running out. We do have the Mouth of Sauron as well. I wonder how effective the Eye of Sauron is for Mouth of Sauron, or Evil Eye. It's at level 3, so it must be pretty weak. A level 3 power is generally not a superpower. Which would leave Descent as his level 10 power. Doubt is level 4 power. Interesting. I can't say I wouldn't hate that. That's a cool change, I guess. Boromir and Aragorn cutting their way through hordes of Mordor troops here. Looks like Ethelis being used there. Or possibly heal. Probably heal. Ethelis is on cooldown. One Nazgul falls, the next Nazgul will fall. They fall pretty quickly, especially when these Dark Rangers are level 7. In patch 1.08, things do go past level 5. I think they go up to 10, if I'm not mistaken. So there is a few differences between 1.08 and other patches. Kind of neat. I like the fact that they go past 5, but at the same time, Is it necessary? No. Not really. It's a cool change though. It's a cool specialty of 1.08. Let's put it that way. We got some Corsairs of Umbar now. They're still not great against the Thillian Rangers, of course. Gladiator trying to reposition him back behind ExECuToR's barracks, but not gonna get a whole lot done. There's too many guys there. Malthasar and Nazgul riding around, destroying some farms. He does still own the top half of the map here. Well, some of it. He's going Corsairs and the Easterlings now. I'd say Trolls would be great, but in actuality, Trolls wouldn't do much against these heroes. Trolls would die quickly to these pikes and these archers, so Trolls would not be very feasible. He does need his siege works back, though. I would say that. So definitely Mordor kind of making a mistake here, not getting his siege works back. Maybe. Maybe not. I personally think the catapults would be super useful here, especially against all these archers. I mean, Men of the West are really relying on their Thillian Rangers. And even their tower guards would still be pretty good against the catapults. Or catapults good against the tower guards, rather. It sounds like one of the heroes died there. Boromir has fallen. Everyone using Blade Master trying to survive as long as he can. Should get out of there though. There's a lot of arrow fire coming from the fortress. Meanwhile, Mordor is attacking the north side of ExECuToR's base here. Getting his way through some tower guards and some Thillian Rangers. And these tower guards are in porcupine formation and hold ground stance, so they are quite tanky. They hold out for quite a long time. And it seems Omer is on the field here. Of course, he's not very good against Easterlings, but he's great for other things. He's great against Nazgul, I'd imagine. Some Bombadil getting killed there. The Thillian Ranger turned to a white. Of course, our firebombs being used. Those are always nice to see. Those are effective. Might even be great to get like a massive amount of Corsair fire bombs and then use them on all these Thillian Rangers. What he really needs is his barrage back, though. Oh, he does have a Balrog ready. Interesting. And actually, the Men of the West almost have 25 power points again. I'm pretty sure Dunedain Allies is not in the center. I'm not positive about that. There's the Balrog. Explode the army from the Men of the West. Could use the Balrog there to kill the army at least. Actually, fire whipping Aragorn. There's a song going on. I don't know why. Does he sing a song when Aragorn dies? That's a little weird. It's also very long. Okay, interesting. Some of the sound changes are just weird. You can never... Seems like people always do sound change, but they never... I don't know, they never seem to fit. I don't think that fits very well. It's too long. But it's cool nonetheless. But now Mordor is poised to attack a bit. He does need to utilize his Balrog. He's wasting time. This is not the best use of a Balrog I've ever seen. Maybe he could at least fire with his tower farm. Yeah, that works too. He's going to take out a few farms. He probably should take the tower out though. It's going to garrison that and use it against him again. Mordor is poised for a nice counterattack though. He has lots of units on the field. And the Men of the West have almost none. This might be the chance he needed. Mordor is... Our Men of the West ExECuToR is pushed to his base again. So we'll see what happens. All his buildings are buried in trees. Tree going right at the center of his buildings. This is really strange. But anyway, I think Aragorn's coming back possibly, or Boromir. There he is. He didn't actually come out the door, he just came flying out the back of the building. Used the back door apparently. That's fair enough. Mordor's builder running in here. Possibly by accident? I'm not sure why the builder would be back here. He could throw up a battle tower though or something. Mordor battle tower would be kind of useful, I suppose. I don't know how much they are in this patch. They're not 700 like they used to be. I think that's how much they were before, and they were quite expensive. And then the West Army is starting to regroup. I think Mordor is making a mistake by not attacking. He's playing a bit too defensive. He has an army here. He could take out this little area here. There you go. Now he is moving in. He also needs to move in with the Northern Army. It's possible his Mike is just not good at multitasking. Not as good, I guess you'd say. He's doing pretty well. Definitely better than I am. I probably would have died if I was Mordor by now, I must say. Mordor got industry. He does have barrage ready in 10 power points and remaining as well. Men of the West have cloud break now and 15 power points, so he has got the center power, and that leads to Army of the Dead. Here comes the barrage. Tower actually doesn't take out the tower. That's got to be a bit depressing. The guys in the tower will be just fine. Everything outside the tower, though, a little dead. Come the Nazgul. You do still get 3 Nazgul in this patch, and the Mouth of Sauron. And Aragorn is going nowhere. Actually, there's a lot of Morgul Blades. There's no way Aragorn's going to be able to leave. Evil Eye being used there. Just need to get the Mouth of Sauron out of there, though. And the Nazgul will give chase, hopefully pick him off. Yeah. Dead once again. Yeah, it's the death sound of Aragorn. Very curious. It's a nice touch, but I just don't. It's kind of like the end summon sound. It's a bit too loud and it's a little weird. Well, hey, whatever. More power to you. Mordor once again throwing his Nazguls against fire arrows. Not the best use. They will tank a bit of damage and they can just run away though, which is nice. He did actually not lose his Mouth of Sauron, which is nice. And he does have 4 cavalry heroes to run around and do some damage. He really needs to get this tower down. There you go. If he can get these rangers dead, he'll be in a good position. He does have forged blades for his pikemen as well. Unfortunately, throw him down on top of the Easterlings. Could also capture this inn. I'm not sure what any teams get from inns in this game, in this patch. Looks like he's actually got some Easterlings in the back of the base of ExECuToR now. So we've been picking away at this farm here. Also, we get this one as well. That'd be good. And he's got guys down here as well. So I'd say ExECuTOR's definitely losing ground here. Yeah, if Gladiator keeps up the pressure, he might be okay, but there is a large force of ExECuTOR troops in the center he has to deal with, unfortunately. A Gorgoroth Spire would be great. If you can get a Gorgoroth Spire, that would deal quite nicely with the army of the men. But there is a army of Oathbreakers waiting to be summoned here. The Army of the Dead will make an appearance shortly, I have no doubt. It's just there needs to be an army worthy to use it on, of course. It'd be a pointless summoning against these, because these could run away. These be pointless. This farm will actually probably kill these off before they actually finish it. Level 3 farms could be a pain to actually take out. As you see, just the arrow tower picks off guys pretty quick. And coming to an attack, you do have a barricade expansion. He's going to use Tom Bombadil before he uses the Army of the Dead, I guess. Good choice. Tom Bombadil could probably deal with most of this. You see his punches just do massive amount of damage. And there's a Sonic Song as well. There's a long shot for arrow volley. That's a long shot. So the Nazgul has dropped there. Another one about to follow suit. You definitely know when the Nazgul dies. They're loud as well. All 3 of them dying there. I don't mind the loud screech in the Nazgul so much, but like when something's loud but it's very long-winded, that's when I mind. Personally. Unfortunately, Mordor is not really able to finish this game. He has been fighting back the Men of the West, but he is not really gaining ground like he should be. He's doing well, but we also do it better, of course. Possibly, well, no. I was going to say a Fell Beast might be good, but a Fell Beast would actually be terrible against all these archers. Since the Men of the West are using so heavily archer armies, probably be a bad idea. But definitely what he's doing right now is not really working, I'd say. Corsairs actually get cheaper, I believe, for the more taverns you have. At least they used to. For him, taverns are no longer existent. Earthquake once again being thrown down on Mordor's base. Just devastating it, leaving only a Harajan Palace and a couple of farms. And the West pushing in, taking out a farm there, slaughterhouse. This might be the finishing push. He hasn't even used his Oathbreakers yet. He hasn't needed to. He really does need to burn down this Nazgul though, or he's going to lose a lot of guys. Nazgul taking some damage, not tons, enough. Boromir actually knocking down the Nazgul right into the archers. Since Boromir still has a knockdown in this patch, which I absolutely hate. I'm not going to lie, I hate Boromir's knockdown. One of the reasons I hate patch 1.06 is all these knockdowns that everything has. So irritating. I can understand like an attack troll having a knockdown or something, but heroes should not. Most of the heroes, a troll of course. Actually no, even then that would be kind of overpowered of him. Worm being summoned down to try and counter some of these hobbits. Just need to be careful, I think that Worm does actually do friendly fire. So this guy could die pretty easily. But the Nazgul of course. Doesn't look like he's actually able to reposition the Worm. It just kind of does what it wants.
Get out of the way!
I believe in 2.02 Rise of the Witch King he can reposition it, which is an interesting feature. But the men of the West are being forced to retreat here. He is taking casualties as he runs. So he might get picked off with this. No, not quite.
Get out of the way!
Having to run by this barricade is not going well for the men of the West. ExECuToR has lost a lot of men that way. So definitely a good spot for Gladiator to have put in this, I'd say. The Men of the West base is not really that well defended. If Mordor could actually grab some attack trolls somehow, I'd say build some attack trolls in the north. Like 3 maybe, send them at the fort. GG. That would probably end the game. Or even battering rams. Battering rams are cheaper, yet easier to build. That would actually be a better idea. And it's not like you can't keep Gondor occupied, or Men of the West. It's not just Gondor, it's actually Gondor and Rohan, of course. Why they're called Men of the West, not just Gondor. So he's taking in the slaughterhouse pretty nicely with these Fillion Rangers. Yeah, like I said, a sneaky battering ram attack would be pretty effective. He doesn't have any sight powers or anything. He doesn't have the ivory tower, and that's all that Men of the West have, really. You could even build it here if you wanted to. I think those kind of tactics are something players should actually utilize more often. Like a sneaky little battering ram, cheeky little ram here and there, you know? No. But I used to do that a lot in patch 1.06. And it works pretty well sometimes. Especially Demolishers. If you don't see the Demolishers coming, you will never stop those things. Lord Demolishers are so strong. Unfortunately, Mordor is losing a lot of stuff here. And we're pushing north as well. He's going to start losing a lot of farms up here as well. It seems no team has actually taken either inn. Possibly inns are banned from Clan War. This might be a Clan War. Maybe inns are banned from the team. I'm going to try and utilize Balrog to destroy the base. Oh, he needs to breathe fire. He needs to breathe fire now. Apparently he doesn't know that he can breathe fire. Balrog's going to die way before he can. Army of Dead is a pretty good counter of Balrog. But that is all he can really use it for. Barrage. Nice barrage, taking out a majority of the troops there. Ah, we do have a Fell Beast now. If he utilizes this correctly, he could actually do a lot of damage. Because it can actually fly in and kill a battalion of archers. I'll send it into a battalion of, like, 3 battalions of archers. Against this, Fell Beast will be amazing for defending against this, because he has no counter. ExECuToR is going to lose these troops. Doesn't matter what he does, it's going to happen. So he's going to need Rangers to actually deal with that. But meanwhile, I'd say Gladiator definitely needs to keep the pressure up. That's the thing. If you lay off too long, your opponent will just build up his army again, which is really not what you want to happen. If you're looking for a win. Ooh, Lots of Dunedain archers being summoned in. So do have the long shot, like I said. So, that's the thing. That's why it'd be nice to have the ivory tower so you can just throw down some long shots everywhere. I mean, he could use long shots here. It would actually make them run away from his farm. And if not, they will die. Apparently he's opted not to do that. Boromir using his horn. Barricade expansion being summoned down behind the archer line, though. So trying to take the battle tower out before it actually gets going. Actually, in a way, that's kind of a smart idea. Unfortunately, well, it's tanking the damage at least. Actually, they're firing two different directions rather. Two of them are firing this way. Tower will be damaged at least. There you go. And with nothing in the tower, the barricade expansion should take it out pretty easily. And these pikemen and Corsairs chasing off these Athelians. Corsairs very fast, of course. They will cut down those Athelian rangers while they retreat. And now Mordor finally has a direct shot to Men of the West base. Actually killing off Boromir as well. This might be it. There is a Taint of Land here as well, meaning he will get the buff, which Taint of Land gives only 50% armor in this patch. But still pretty effective. Tom Bombadil being summoned though. He should deal with most of this pretty easily. Tom Bombadil's so freaking strong for a 10 power, it's ridiculous. He's there. He just dances his way, chances to do a dance off, and just wins every time. I'd say Mordor definitely just needs to keep the pressure up though. Cloudbreak is ready to be used to actually cancel the darkness. Yeah. He needs to cancel this darkness. Has ExECuToR forgotten how to use Cloudbreak? Or is he just not ready to use it? It's weird, you don't actually get the buff under the guys in Cloudbreak, or Darkness rather, like you do in other patches. It's fine though. I can definitely tell there's darkness on the field. But yeah, I think Cloudbreak should be used right now. Not only would it freeze these guys, but it would cancel this darkness. I think it's a better time to use it. Felby's still on the field doing a massive amount of damage to all these guys. Of course, he has to choose, do I want to attack the Felbeast or do I want to attack Corsairs who are killing him? And there's no easy answer for that. There is a lot of Corsairs still on the field. Corsairs, lots of Corsairs with the Forged Blades is actually pretty effective. That is one of the most effective strategies for patch 1.06 as well. Worm is going to take down this level 3 barracks. It'll be quite the loss. He won't be able to build those, and he might actually get the archer range as well. If he gets the archer range, that might be it. Worm, unfortunately, doing what it wants, which is not... Oh! Somehow that fell down. Well, the Worm actually managed to do it. Now the Men of the West are kind of defenseless. He has Aragorn, level 8, but that's about it. Worm continuing to hit his base, and now Mordor is coming in with the final assault, I think. This might be it. Gladiator looking to finish the game. As ExECuToR has lost everything, which is quite good. I thought ExECuToR was going to win this game. Yeah, there's the cloud break that he just realized he had. I think he should have used that a lot sooner. He could have stopped all these Corsairs from destroying all his structures, canceling out that darkness that he was fighting against for so long. It looks like he will retreat a bit. I don't think he needs to retreat, really. Don't give Gondor a chance to rebuild. Or Men of the West. Keep calling him Gondor. Same shit. But yeah, battering ram would be nice, or some sort of siege weapons. I don't know why people go, like, they just have this mentality, I don't need siege weapons. Siege weapons are so useful. I don't get it. I mean, he did go for catapults, but then he just never built catapults again once he lost his siege works. Which he should have. I mean, he won the game nonetheless, but it would have took a lot less time, I feel. Would have been able to kill a lot more archers very quickly. And sending this Felbeast after this tower is probably a mistake. Ah, there you go. He actually is going for catapults again. Alright, well there you go. Well, then I take back everything I just said. These Nazguls are very high level, though. They do have the Mortal Blades. Make it pretty much impossible for Aragorn. He'll never get away. Boromir as well is in here somewhere in the fray. And the hobbits there. There's Boromir. Elendil level 10. Elendil being used to cause everyone to flee. The Nazgul being cut down. Yeah, I think Mordor just should have sent all his men after the base. You should not be sending a fell beast in by itself. There's too many arrow towers in the fortress there. And he does get away without losing it. So that's nice. He does still have some troops in here, but he does need his catapults. Starting to get catapults ready. Mumakil pen, there you go. Now we're talking. Mumakil, of course, extremely powerful against heroes. Should take Aragorn or Boromir out easily. So if he gets a Mumakil, then that's all the defense the Men of the West will have. At this point, the Men of the West are actually beaten. It's just a matter of time. If Aragorn gets level 10, though, he's going to get the Oathbreakers, which will be quite an annoyance for him, I'd imagine. Men of the West do have Earthquake as well, ready to be used. Of course, it's only really good against structures, so you'd have to use it on the enemy base. But the enemy base isn't what really is threatening his base at the moment. It's the enemy army. I guess it does some damage to units, doesn't it? No, it's just heavy damage to structures. Omer running right into the pikemen, immediately dying. Mistakes were made. So really, the last line of defense is Aragorn, who should not be targeted by catapults. Definitely target the fortress with the catapults. Catapults not only are missing, but he's going to be bound to hit his own men. If he just sends all the Corsairs and stuff after... Yeah, there you go. That's exactly what I was talking about. He needs to micro his catapults better. Oh god, he's going to get hit with a giant arrow volley, killing a lot of those guys. It's unfortunate. He does still have a lot of Easterlings, though. Aragorn is level 10, and he does summon the Oathbreakers right before dying as well, which is too bad. Although there is still a catapult shooting the fortress. He's almost dead, so it's only a matter of time. And he is getting Mumakil, and he is getting more catapults and Easterlings, so... And of course Corsairs. Summoning Tom Bombadil to try and stop this. What is with this? Those look like cavalry ghosts. That was weird. Do the Oathbreakers from Aragorn have a different model? It is possible. I mean, there's a lot of changes in 1.08 I'm not aware of. That might be one of them. Corsairs and Easterlings looking to finish off the fort, though. Guess where I just heard a summon roll here on my allies. Yes, I did. That's probably going to use Earthquake as well. Everything's going to go down at this point. On those. Those pretty easily. Ah, the fortress is so close to dead. I think that's going to be it. One more shot from a catapult and Men of the West are dead. But it was a good fight. There you go, ExECuToR has been defeated. And there's Aragorn's death sound because he died. Technically, when you lose, you die, everything dies. So yeah, well played those players. Well played to Gladiator for coming back from that game. I thought he was going to lose that game in the beginning. But he actually turned it around and won. So that was a pretty interesting game. Nice little match of 1.08 for you. Hope you guys enjoyed that. And I will see you in the next cast of patch 1.08 for Battlefield 2. See you next time.